Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Thursday, the 5th of June. With McShane, we're reading through Deuteronomy, today chapter 9, as Moses is telling the people they're going to go in and take possession of the promised land. And he says to them in verse 4, "After the Lord your God has driven out the nations before you, do not say to yourself, 'The Lord has brought me here to take possession of this land because of my righteousness.' No, it is on account of the wickedness of these nations that the Lord is going to drive them out before you." And then a verse later he says, "It is not because of your righteousness or your integrity that you are going to take possession of their land, but on account of the wickedness of these nations, the Lord your God will drive them out before you." And he says again in verse 6, "Understand then that it is not because of your righteousness that the Lord your God is giving you this good land to possess, for you are a stiff-necked people." And as I read that, I thought it puts the context of Israel going in to take possession of the promised land, it puts it into a context that this wasn't a land grab on their part, but it was God's judgment on the wickedness of the people that were there. And we look at a wicked world and we think, oh, God must do something. And sometimes God will bring judgment supernaturally. You see that with a place like Sodom and Gomorrah, where fire rains down from heaven. But at other times, he uses other peoples and nations, as you see with the exile, where God used Nebuchadnezzar and Babylon to overthrow the Israelites and destroy Jerusalem as part of his judgment on them for their apostasy. And so as the Israelites go into the promised land, it is because of the wickedness of those people that God is executing judgment on them. And Israel benefits from that. It wasn't because they were righteous, it wasn't because of their integrity, but because of the wickedness of the nations. And then a rider to that is sometimes the devil will have a voice in the back of our head which says, God can't use you because you're not righteous enough. God wants you to do this, and you say, Lord, I want to be used by you. And the devil comes and says, don't even think about it. You're not good enough. And so it's almost the reverse of this, where God's saying to the people, don't say it's because you're good enough that this happened, because you're not. And we need to recognize that God uses people that aren't good enough. God uses people that aren't righteous necessarily, that don't have full integrity. God can use broken and bent and imperfect people to achieve his purposes. And so when the devil would stop us, we need to just call out to God and say, God, I actually want to do your will. I want to be used by you. I know that I'm not worthy. I know that that I haven't the righteousness. I haven't the integrity. I haven't got it together. But I am prepared to be used by you. And God is a workman that can use imperfect tools in his perfect plans. So we always need to be encouraged by that thought. Be blessed.